Hey, how's it going? I hope this video brings value to you, and I hope it can impact your life in some way, for it certainly changed mine. And I know a lot of people who've changed their life using this simple technique. And I won't beat around the bush with additional information, but rather I'm going to get to the point, because I truly believe that, people realistically just want information. They don't necessarily want all the extra frills. So I will get to the point, and hopefully this brings value to you. And the topic is never to suffer from anxiety or depression again. And I truly believe that anyone can be cured of this. Anyone can be cured of this sickness and disease which is currently plaguing society. And apparently, you know, depression is on the rise, and for 2024, it's probably going to reach a peak that it's never reached before. And so, it's something we definitely have to consider. Like, is our brothers and sisters okay? Is our relatives and people that we know, is everyone okay? Am I okay? Right? This is something that I've asked myself multiple times, because we are living in a chaotic system right now, and it has an immense impact on everyone. Um, no matter how much you twist and turn it, you cannot hide the reality that we are living in a very treacherous time. But for some reason, most people rather turn a blind eye and pretend like nothing is going on. And so a lot of people bottle this chaos that's happening outside, which is a reflection of what's happening inside of us. A lot of people bottle it up and ultimately cause themselves a lot of pain and suffering. And this bottling up of these depressions and anxiety and these feelings that we have causes us to act irrationally sometimes and to do irrational things. And so I think that you can cure this disease or this sickness by something simple, right? And the reason I say it's simple, because the path is simple, but the commitment may be difficult. Because the reality is that anything good doesn't come easy. And it might be a challenge for you depending on what you take of what I'm about to say. So, like I said, the world itself is under a lot of strain, and we are living in one of the most complex civilization that has graced the earth before. And this complexity is causing a lot of um, dissonance, cognitive dissonance within society and amongst people. And this complexity is putting a lot of pressure on our mind, on our being, on who we think we are, what we think we are. Everything is happening so fast, right? At one point, we got computers, then we got the internet, then we got social media, now we have AI, we have digital money, and everything is just going so fast and it's picking up speed. And sometimes it's like it's too much for everyone to take in. And we shifted from the general social system that we're used to, which is hanging around people, to a total isolated system, which is a massive shift that took place, and it affects the psyche of people terribly. And this has caused again, cognitive dissonance within our minds. And it's kind of like you've shaken up the apple cart. And so there's just so much unrest and uncertainty within everyone, and a lot of people are depressed, and a lot of people are anxious, and it's expected for this state of being to rise. And so I hope that I can offer you some insights to help you if you were to succumb to such state of feeling of anxiety and depression. And that is to come to know yourself, right? The highest virtue is to know thyself. And when you come to understand and you know yourself, then the illusions of this world just fall off and it fades away, allowing you to be free, allowing you to really step into who you are, and to put down your burdens, and to put down the things that shackle you to a depressive state of mind. Um, you know, I wouldn't right out say that I was ever depressed, but I've went through states of anxiety, states of being in the worst state of mind. And this can affect you. This can affect you immensely. And a lot of people bottle this stuff inside, especially men, grown men. We bottle it inside. And, because especially because we feel like it's feminine to cry. Yes, that may be a feminine energy, but feminine energy is in everyone. Masculine energy is in everyone. This is our nature. It's who we are. It's our true being. To have that feminine side. The feminine side is expression of oneself, right? You have logic, and then you have illogical. Nobody knows, you know, where feelings come from, but feelings arise, and we have to express them. And the way we express them is through tears, and it's through being sad and being vulnerable. This is part of existence, and this is part of the growth of the self, of who you are, and your soul growth, your soul journey. This is required for you to grow, for you to get past this level of life. This level of existence requires you to grow spiritually and to come into yourself, to step into your true nature, right? One of the reasons why you may be suffering from depression is because your soul is in pain. Your soul is suffering from lack of food. You have all the physical food that you want. You have all the money in the world, but your soul is suffering from soul food. Your soul wants to eat something. Your soul wants to eat knowledge and wisdom, but you're not feeding it any of that. You're feeding it social media stimuli, which is further causing the anxiety and pain that you're feeling. But when you tap into yourself and you tap into trying to learn yourself and know yourself, then spirit leads you down a path where knowledge abounds, wisdom abounds. Well, wisdom doesn't abound. It takes, wisdom is something else from knowledge. But knowledge is there, right? And you can use this knowledge to feed your soul, which produces wisdom, right? Because when your soul really begins to remember itself, and that's what the accumulation of knowledge is about, helping your soul to remember that you're an infinite being. And this experience you're having right now is merely temporal. And this temporal experience is not who you are. It may define you momentarily, but you can switch the definition of who you are at any given time by simply shifting who you think you are and the way you perceive yourself, right? So coming into divinity and coming into understanding of self and learning about yourself will eradicate all your anxieties and depressions. Because like I said, your soul is depressed. That's why you feel that way. Your soul is starving for food. This reality that we live in right now, it's not conducive for the soul, for the purpose of the soul. The main purpose of the soul is to grow. Like anything in nature, everything in nature grows. Everything in life grows and then it dies. Or it transitions. Everything in nature grows and then it transitions into something else. Our soul is not growing. It's being stifled by this current system. And because it's being stifled, your soul wants to break out of this seeming shackle called the body. And so you just want to get rid of yourself, and this causes a lot of people to commit suicide, to take their own lives, because the soul is not being fed food to nurture it, for it to grow. So that eventually when you transition from this realm, you're prepared to go on to the next realm, to the next world, to the new life, the new experience you could be having after this one. So you have to feed your soul to alleviate all your anxieties and depressions that you may be feeling. And it can be done. It's been done numerously. And my goal is to keep putting out soul redeeming content to help people that are suffering right now in the world, mentally and spiritually, because it is a treacherous place if you don't have a guide, if you don't have someone to show you the way, because the way of the world is not conducive for the growth of your soul. And so for you to grow spiritually, you need to be fed. And with that spiritual growth, you will rise beyond and above your anxieties and depressions. And on this path, you have to do certain things like reduce external stimuli. Okay? Get off these social medias. They're not nurturing your soul. It's not nurturing your soul. All it's doing is showing you fake life and fake lies that are making you feel less than yourself, making you believe lesser about yourself. If it's not, if you're on social media and it's not propelling you forward into a better state of mind or helping you to get to where you want to go, then it's poison for you. It's poison. And don't get me wrong, social media can be entertaining, it can be fun, but too much of anything will poison you, right? So you must handle it with moderation, respectively. However, if it's not getting you where you want to go, why waste time with it? So realistically, you want to find stuff that will feed your soul so that you may grow. And on this journey, this path to getting over depression and getting over anxiety, you're going to have to practice things like mindfulness, gratefulness, being in a state of love, being in a state of peace, patience, being in a state of gratitude. These are things you have to practice in order for you to get over your anxieties and depressions. Because you have to remind yourself that you're having a wonderful experience. It's called life. It may not be exactly the way you want it to be, but nevertheless, you're still here experiencing it. It is not a permanent experience to be had, period. You never came here to live here permanently. You never came here to stay here permanently. So why cling to this experience in a way that you think that it is all that you are? Your anxieties and depressions stem from you thinking that you're not going to amount to anything, your life will be wasted. Life is not wasted. Life is an experience to be had. And after this experience, you're going to have another one. But while you're here, you must understand that you are in the world, but you're not of the world. You're a spiritual being having a human experience. You're merely having an experience. And so while you're here, don't believe that everything that you've accumulated or your experiences as amount to so far is what you are. It can be changed at any time by simply shifting your mind, the way you see yourself and you think about yourself. And so you have to make that shift in order to get yourself out of your rut. You got to lift yourself up out of your own, you got to grab yourself by your own bootstrap, right? You got to give yourself a wedgie, because the reality is, even though you can sit and talk to people, nobody else can do it for you. You have to do it for yourself. That is the only way you can get over your anxieties and depressions, is when you can get over it yourself. Because, you're no longer needing help to do it. You can do it yourself, right? There's that quote in the Bible. I can't even remember, but it totally applies to what I'm trying to say here, because it's like, okay, it's better for me to teach you how to fish than for me to catch a fish for you. If I catch a fish for you, I feed you for a day. If I teach you how to fish, you're fed for your whole life. So if you understand how to get over your anxieties and depressions now on your own, you will be able to always take care of yourself. And that is getting to know self, getting to know the spirit, and stepping into your divinity, into your light, into who you are, so that you may have the experience that you want to have, because it's yours to be had. Nevertheless, I drop deep spiritual, redeeming soul content consistently. It can be very spiritual, it can get very deep, and it can be very touching to the secret chambers of your heart. And that's what I do on this channel. So if you find value, please like, subscribe, share the whole traditional stuff, the YouTube vibes. We appreciate it. And find another video and like it, and watch that one too, because I'm sure it'll help you in some way. I appreciate you watching this. Thank you, and peace out for now.